All right, hello guys. Unfortunately, not a good day of football for the New England Patriots. And that's not to say that the team played overall bad and this is just a horrible blown out loss or anything like that, but it's kind of like a classic Patriots loss where like week 1 was a classic Patriots win. It was great defense, running the ball well, getting turnovers, but we're not turning the ball over. Well, we kind of got some of that right this week, but not all of it, right? And that's why I think it's so hard for the Patriots to win sometimes because it has to be a perfect way. The Patriots have to be leading the entire game. They have to be able to run the ball. The special teams can't make any mistakes, and we have to have the other team make mistakes. This game, was 20-20 going into overtime, and then the Seahawks ended up getting the field goal, getting a 23-20 win to the Seattle Seahawks. And this game went pretty much how I predicted it would, right? I thought the Patriots could edge this one out, and I still stand behind that because, you have only 46 yards on the ground. So again, the run defense for the Patriots continues to be really great back-to-back weeks. But where that wasn't great, this is where it kind of fell apart, right? Geno Smith, over 300 yards passing. He finished with 327 yards passing on 33 out of 44 pass attempts. He had a passer rating of 103.1. And there were just a number of times where our secondary just got burned. DK Metcalf did it to us. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Everybody was able to just torch us. And so not a great outing by the secondary, which is something that I was a bit surprised by. Even though the Seahawks only scored 23 points in this game, and that's still pretty good defensive effort, I did not expect the Seattle Seahawks to be able to pass on our defense as well as they were able to. And I thought if they were going to be able to, it was going to be because that they had a running game enough to where the play action and some of our pass rush wasn't going to be there as much. And we did have a decent amount of pass rush in this game. Kyle Duggar did have a sack, but Keon White continues to be the kind of the standout with the pressures, a sack and a half in this game. So the defense, I think, overall was good enough to win the game. I think the part that isn't so great, no turnovers in this game. We had no fumble recoveries. We had no interceptions. So we weren't really giving the offense as many opportunities to score that they need to, because when you go to the flip side, and that's why I don't think we need to talk about the defense too much. I think the defense just had a bad Sunday in terms of, pass coverage in the secondary. But the offense is really where the story, kind of unravels. Like I talked about with week 1 and why I think I was a bit more critical of week 1 is, yeah, the Patriots beat the Bengals. That's great and all. But our offense didn't even look that good in that game. The fact that it was that close in week 1 tells you the offense wasn't that great. And that kind of continues in this game. Like, yes, 185 yards on the ground. Between Gibson, Stevenson, they had a fantastic game. I would say more Gibson because Stevenson did average below 4 yards a carry, so wasn't great. But most of our offense that we had today came through from the running game. And that's, makes sense because the game, for the most part, was kind of back and forth, pretty close the entire game. And we kind of took a lead there in the fourth quarter late. But where this whole team fell apart is our offensive line was terrible in trying to buy time for Jacoby Brissett, who's not a very mobile quarterback. He got sacked 3 times today, was pressured a good amount more. For one, Leonard Williams got to the quarterback quite a lot in today. He only had a sack and a half, but he had a ton of hits on the quarterback. Boye Mafe got some hits in there. The pressure was there, right? The Seahawks definitely got to Jacoby Brissett. And you have a mix of things, right? So you have the offensive line not playing well, not giving Jacoby Brissett a lot of time to throw. Mix that also in with the fact that we had no receivers really in this game get any separation at all. So when you think about it, Jacoby Brissett had 149 yards passing, right? That is terrible. Just usually is terrible. And so when you take a look at that and you go, wait a second, okay, that's already not great. And then you look at the fact that 109 of those 149 yards passing came to Hunter Henry. He was the only guy in this game in terms of pass receiving options that was getting any separation. If you even want to look at the receivers, Jalen Polk had 2 catches, one that went for a touchdown, but he only had 12 yards. KJ Osborne had 1 catch for 7 yards. Our receivers are non-existent. And the weakness that I've talked about, going into the season, it's blaringly obvious this team cannot score through the air. This is the whole issue of the Patriots, and it's the reason why I'm very hesitant to put in Drake May. Yes, Drake May, in my opinion, is has more talent and way more upside than Jacoby Brissett, but he has nobody to throw to. Hunter Henry, like I talked about it in the preview for the Patriots, he is the only player that is a real threat in the red zone, but also, like right now in this offense, he's the only threat. And so what you're going to see happen right now is if teams are able to get out to a lead on New England, this team's lost. They have no chance. And maybe I'm saying that because Seattle's defense has actually been pretty good through 2 games. Now, again, you've gone against the Bo Nix Broncos, a rookie quarterback in his first game. He hasn't looked good. Even as I'm recording this, the Steelers have held the Broncos to 3 points through most of the game. It's just one of those things where it kind of pulls, I think, Patriots fans back down to earth. This team has a specific formula for how they have to win, and I've talked about it over and over again in this video and the last video. The team needs to, A, get out to a lead early. 2, they cannot make any mistakes. And one thing I'll give the team credit for, we didn't have any turnovers in this game, and I think that's largely one of the other reasons why this game was so close. Our special teams has to be fantastic. Our defense has to be great. It just feels like to win a game right now for a Patriots team, it's just so difficult. This is why I don't think you'll ever see the Patriots like dominate a game or blow out a team, because the offense that we have is just so subpar. Like the running backs, yes, they did a fantastic job. And even our offensive line in terms of run blocking did pretty good today. But it's just obvious based on, 2 weeks now that this team has no separation. There are no wide receivers that can get open for Jacoby Brissett, and he's kind of forced to, give it to Hunter Henry or just dump it off to running backs and just to hand the ball off. Team just doesn't have enough talent. So that is kind of the week 2, I would say, review for the Patriots. It's not a good feeling, especially going into, Thursday night playing the Jets, a team that has I would say, a much better defense than Seattle, but I guess that's debatable. I think Seattle's defense has taken a massive step up this year so far, and especially I would say their corners, Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, Julian Love. A lot of their secondary look great in this game, and it's hard to say that because it's the Patriots, but how does this Patriots team now go into playing the Jets? A team that has historically been a very good defense. They were pretty good today against the Titans. They only gave up 17 points. They controlled the game for the most part. But who knows? If they shut down the Patriots' run, it could be an ugly game Thursday. Now, I will say, the Jets' offense hasn't looked all that great. So maybe the Patriots, the defense will keep them in the game like they have so far. I don't think that's a crazy thought. I mean, these two, when they play each other, it's usually like very low scoring, all of that. But they have Aaron Rodgers now. Who knows what's going to happen there? But thank you guys all for joining me on this week, talking about the Patriots. Subscribe for more. We'll be talking about them every single week. Got some other videos cooked up to talk about some other teams that maybe some teams that are coming out to a strong start early on in the season, and maybe some of the teams that are a little bit slow out of the gate, and what can we expect from them going forward. But thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.